Now, today we're talking about listening, the importance of listening. And listening is so important. I know listening seems to be like an easy task, right? But the fact is that we should be slow to speak and quick to listen. Many times we're so quick to want to share the information we know that we don't take the time to listen. There's a story of a man that went to go buy a car. There's a story of a man that went to go buy a car. In the story, this man, he walks into a dealership to buy this car. And when he walks into this first dealership, he says, "Hey, I want this car and I want it now." And the dealership owner says, "Okay." And he goes ahead and starts working on the paperwork. But before he starts processing any of those paperworks, he starts telling him about the features of the car. Hey, the car is from this make, this model, this style, this year, this gas. And he starts going through all these details. And so the guy just gets up and walks away. He doesn't even buy a car. He goes to another dealership. And dealership owner says, "Hey, how can I help you?" He says, "I'm here to buy that car right there." A guy begins to say, "All right, let's get you processed." Takes him to the office, sits him down, and he begins to process the paperwork. But as they're processing the paperwork, the gentleman who wants to purchase the car says to the dealership owner, "Hey, you play golf?" And he says, "Yeah." And he begins to go on to the story of how he plays golf, how long he's played golf, all of his scores, etc. And so the guy gets up and he doesn't buy a car. He goes to another dealership. When he goes to this other dealership, he says, "I want to buy that car, that make and model." The guy says, "Okay," gets him processed, and in less than 10 minutes, he's out of there. So the moral of the story is this. Many times we miss an opportunity because we're distracted with other things. On the first dealership, the guy wanted to show off his knowledge and go off on the car information. On the second story of this, the second section where the dealership just goes off on a story of his family, he was focusing on other things, other places, other times, instead of focus on that moment. It's on the third dealership where the guy says, "Got you, let's process it, let's get it going," and in less than 10 minutes, he's out. Ladies and gentlemen, many times we miss on an opportunity because we are focused on the wrong things. As a leader, many times we have a difficulty in sitting back and listening. We are so ready to provide information, so ready to provide the latest update, the latest numbers, the latest statistics, so quick that we sometimes have difficulty in listening and just taking a moment and really taking in all of the ideas, what everyone else is saying, what everyone else is feeling. And we live in a time, we live in a society, we live in a moment in history where I think it's crucial, it's necessary, it is imperative that the leader have the ability to listen. I cannot pretend to know what the other individual across from me is thinking. And so in order for me to be able to know, I have to listen. In order for me to be able to properly direct those who are at my following, those who are with me in this particular mission, I have to listen. What are their needs? What are their weaknesses? What are their strengths? How can I help them so that they may grow and we may all accomplish the level of success we have defined already? I previously spoke about what it is to take a moment of meditation, being able to do that brain dump. I'll leave a link above about that particular video because that actually ties into this. If we're unable to take a moment and just do a brain dump, and we're unable to take a moment of meditation, and we're unable to take a moment of silence for ourselves, if we're unable to just disconnect, it's going to be hard to connect with people and actually be able to listen. And so what I want to encourage you, leader, you that are watching right now, that you are in development of leadership, you're growing in leadership, you want to be a better leader, I encourage you, listen to your staff, listen to the clients, to the people that you help. Don't go past the yes, right? These other individuals, they already had the sale made, but they went past it because they kept talking and they kept saying things that didn't pertain to anything. They already said yes. What else do you want? There's nothing greater you can say. I remember when I proposed to my wife and I got on one knee and I pulled out the case where the ring was, and she turned around and there I was, and I said, baby, I love you. I asked her, would you marry me? And you know what she said? She said yes. And the next thing I did was that I stood up and gave her the ring, and we've been married ever since. Imagine if I would have gone on to this monologue of, in the beginning, I knew I loved you when she already said yes. And so we have to learn to listen, to really listen and be in the moment and really take in what is it that our clients, the people that we provide service to, are saying about us, about our product, our service, our brand, our presentation. And we also have to be able to listen to our team. What are they saying? What ideas do they have? A lot of times people don't feel like there actually is an open door policy because, well, leadership has a hard time listening.